Hello, everyone. My name is Heather Herring. If you don't already know me, I run Underdog Performance Horses, or UDP Therapy, and this time next week, I will be a certified massage therapist. And so today, I'm 99% through everything. I just have to do a few days in person. I will be using Johnny B as a test subject and showing you guys how to massage from the head to roughly the withers. I'm going to stop at today. And this horse has been off all winter due to a not really injury in the neck, but a lot of tightness throughout the neck. So I've been working on it a little bit, but not as much as I would like to since I've been so busy with school. But now that I'm out of school, all of my focus is being put onto him and my other horses as well as other animals. And I have a cat trying to come into frame. And so anyways, if you do want to set up an appointment, you can contact me at 734-341-8869, or you can find me on Facebook, Underdogs Performance Horses, UDP Therapy, and I am in the Michigan area. I can travel to Michigan, Ohio, possibly Indiana, depending on how many horses I receive on said schedule. Now, before Johnny gets so impatient, I think we need to start on him. And so my first step to do anytime I look at a horse, and we're going to be focusing on the front end, I want to look at how he looks conformationally. Now, Johnny is a halter bred quarter horse, so conformation simply is not there, unfortunately, but he is a good-looking horse if you don't think about conformation. Now, he has a very overbuilt hip. I'd like to see more in the shoulder and neck area built up. And so that's why a lot of his soreness comes from the front end, is because he's very underbuilt here and he compensates in the back end, so that ends up being overbuilt. So when I massage horses, a lot of people like to pick one spot and go every time. I personally pick what spot the horse is worse at, or I will go by the horse and let my hands do the talking. So in this case, I'm going to start at the pole because I know this horse is just turned 4 years old. He's got a baby brain, and I want him to relax as much as possible. So we're going to start in the head area, work on that pole, and work my way back. And then that makes it easier for people following along, which is a big reason I chose him for this video. Can we move you over just a little bit? And he is being very calm today, so he's definitely going to get some treats. So the first thing I'm going to do, and usually I like to do the pole last because a lot of horses have a lot of tension in the pole, and so I want to make that last the longest, so I hit it right before I get on riding usually. But I will start by the ears and just kind of rub behind the ears very lightly. And once I finish, I kind of work, so here he kind of moved his head. Yep, he's moving his head, so there might be some tension here. And so I'll kind of hold that pressure point and see if I can work it out. If it's too bad, then I avoid it, and that might mean that a vet needs to come in and work through it. But right now I'm just waiting for a release. And he could just not like me touching here, but in my opinion, right now this is an issue on release. So I'm waiting for any sign of release. He may take a deep breath or yawn or lick and chew. I see his eyes kind of closing here. He's blinking slowly. Did I hit something? Let me see. And so he's had this tension all winter, so it's kind of built up. There's a release. I'm going to wait. We got a little bit. I'm going to work my way around it, all the way around the same ear. And see if there's any more times where he might lift his head up or show that there's a little sign of tension. And I can kind of work my way on it just to see what he does. If he likes the spot, I might spend more time on it. So I've made my way around. There's no more pressure points. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the base of this ear. The horse's head shy. Don't make them do this. See, he's not a big fan of it, so I'm going to take it slow because I know there's no abuse there. He's just kind of like, what are you doing? So I'm going to take it and we're going to rotate it 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. I might stop at 4 really quick. Let him see what I'm doing. Good boy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And after going one way 5 times, we're going to go the other way. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and now I'm going to let him kind of relax there because he stood fairly still. I've done that with him a few times, but he just doesn't fully understand it yet. So then I'm going to come onto this side. I'm going to do the same thing on this side of the ear. I'm going to rub around it. There's nothing there. No signs of tension. There's a little bit right here. Yeah. I don't know if it's because I'm holding the ear kind of uncomfortably. So I'm going to kind of rub there and see if there's anything. I was holding the whole base of the ear, and we know he's not a big fan of that yet. I see his lip kind of twitching like he's thinking about releasing, and then there's some tension there. So this leads me to think that it's not just the holding of the ear, but there's something going on there that's causing some head shaking there. And I do like mine. I like to allow them to move around a little bit just so I can see there's some licks and chews. I want to see where they throw their head because that means, like, if they're moving around, that means there's something there and I have to look more into it. So I let my horses move around within reason. And he's young, so he's going to move around a little more just because. See, he wants to play. Here we're going to get a little bit of a yawn. Yeah. Alright, so now I'm going to do my spinning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a little bit of a deep breath. So I'm going to work a little bit on the mandible here, which is their cheek. But I'm not going to focus on it a ton today, but because he rides in a bit, and even my one in a hack, he gets a lot of tension in the mandible. But I just want to use this to kind of see where he's at. See, because he's moving around so much, this tells me there's something here, so I'm going to hold that pressure just underneath that bone, and I'm going to wait and see. Now, there was a four-wheeler driving by, but something tells me that this was tension. So I'm holding that pressure. I might wait a bit and think maybe I was wrong, so I might kind of rub in, see if we get any more movement. Is there anything? You know, I don't mess with his mandible too much, so maybe he's thinking, what am I doing? I don't feel anything, and he's not moving around anymore, so I'm gonna, yeah, right here maybe. We're just gonna test it out, kind of hold it there, maybe circles, little circles on his mandible right here. He's moving around. So then it's my job to decide, is this from tension or is this from something else? I personally feel like it's tension, but I can't say that for sure because he's young. So it's very well could be that he's just moving around quite a bit. So I'm not getting anything out of him, and by now usually the mandible doesn't take super long to release right here maybe. And you can kind of play at different pressure points and see if you find anything. Kind of took a slight deep breath, or very slight. There we go. So I'm kind of going to ignore this area for now. I might come back to it at the very end when I do the whole body because I'm not seeing any signs of true tension. So I'm going to come onto this side and see if there's anything that might lead me to believe that there's some tension. So there's some licking and chewing, and I'm putting pressure kind of right behind this jaw here, right onto that bone. Now I'm going to work my way down, and I kind of just pat all the pressure points and see if any of them make me notice anything. Right here, maybe. So there's some licking and chewing, so maybe I worked it out on that side, and now when I came over here, it was worse, and that was preventing him from really being able to release. So I'm going to kind of hold that there and see if I can get anything else out of him. And he's definitely in a playful mood, and that's why I wanted to start at the pole. So I'm going to work my way around, and I'm not seeing anything else, and I'm going to put a pressure point right behind that ear and see if I find anything. I'm going to just kind of rub it and see if I can see him relax. His eyes are closing. Lowered his head out, and now he's looking at me talk. That's a good boy. I'm going to kind of get out of his way here because you see it kind of lowers his head from me rubbing on that pole, and now coming back up. It's okay. I kind of just let them do their thing. I'm going to come onto this side because I want to focus on this side for the video. And I'm going to rub in that same spot just behind that ear, kind of near where that forelock starts. I'm going to rub ever so lightly and see if I can find anything. I'm not seeing anything so far, just a very nibbly baby. So I'm going to come a little lower, and I saw him right away, licks and chews. I'm going to move him over real quick. So I'm not too worried about that moving around, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to move him over. Right, yeah, that was a good one. And I'm kind of right behind that ear. It's very soft right here. There's not a lot of tension built up in this pole, which I really wouldn't expect from him, from his personality. Yeah, I have one that gets major migraines, and her pole's always very locked up. But I just wouldn't. That's not the type of thing I'd expect from him. So I'm kind of holding this pressure point, and I gotta decide. I personally feel like this is boredom, but I don't want to walk away, just in case. Kind of work my way a little bit higher, kind of where that crest of the neck is. And now this is kind of where I feel like he's bored. He wants to play. So we're going to work down onto that crest of the neck. Excuse me. So I take both of my hands here, and I'm just going to rub back and forth, starting at that very top of the crest where I'm able to move it back. See, he's licking and chewing, but it might just be because he's having a good time. There's a release. We're kind of going back and forth ever so slightly, right on top of the neck. Kind of bend your wrist with it. Work my way lower again, kind of where that withers are. Right, go back up here a little ways. And we know that he's got tension in that base. I don't want to focus on it too much yet until I get back there, but I am going to hold a little bit of pressure here because I know that something here is bugging him. But I might stop that for now and come back once I finish working out the front, just because I know that in the back is where the most tension is in. I'll rub it a little bit, now I'm going to come back up. And I know a lot of the horses really feel relaxed when I do this. See, and got another release. So I might work on it a little bit more, but this is not our biggest thing. I'm going to square them up again. Not super square, but better than nothing. So now I'm going to come, and this is also an EPM line, especially on the other side. So we got a little bit twitching here. He doesn't like this, so I'm going to hold the pressure here. And it's just behind his ear, maybe a few inches back. Kind of right behind where that halter would lay. And I know he doesn't have EPM, but it'll still get tension even if they don't. So we kind of rub it. Oh, it's okay, baby. It's okay. And if he flips out too much, then I'm going to call it and say this is more vet action needed. But every time I work with him, it's never gotten that far. It's gotten that far once with a client horse where I was like, there's clearly something ulterior and I don't want to make it worse. So I worked my way ever so slightly, and you heard and saw that tail flick. So we're going to kind of keep an eye on this. I'm not really palpating this time. I just don't feel I need to. I don't get much when I palpate. I do it most of the time, but every time I palpate him, I don't get anything, even though I know that there's tension there. Because you can see he's tense right here. And this isn't even the worst spot on him, from what I understand. And so I'm kind of going to hold him here. And a lot of it is just petting your horse. So you see I'm just kind of rubbing with a little bit of pressure right behind that halter. Seeing if we get anything. Might use the base of my palm right before my wrist, because there's something there and he won't release. But we can see there's something by that tail swishing. I don't think there's any flies out. So I'm going to keep rubbing. He's going to go out of frame because of course he is, but I'm not going to let go until I see him release so he can move wherever he wants to. But now I'm kind of holding that pressure to see if I can get a release out of him. Nothing yet. I might kind of circle with all three. I'm using 3 fingers and just circling it because we're working that tension out. So now I'll take the palm and rub up away from where that muscle wants to go. And sometimes I'll work with the muscle, but this is real tense here, so I'm working it and working it. And he's you can't see him, but he's got his eyes about halfway closed. He's wondering what to do in this situation. I'm just gonna rub. Yes, good boy. He's getting there. Yeah. We'll come back in frame. There we go. Easy. We're not getting anything quite yet, but we're just gonna keep rubbing. I work my way lower, a little bit lower, and I'm kind of inching towards that middle of the neck, but I'm still using the base of my palm and just going up. I might angle it this way and start to go the way that the muscle wants to go. We're not getting much. That was all kind of at the top of the head. Right here, definitely something. And this is where you'd expect to see it. Easy. I'm using the palm and I'm going up, right? digging into where that tension is. I don't want to use all my weight, but I'm using a lot of weight and pushing into that muscle, waiting for a sign of release. Licking and chewing, there we go. So we worked something out there, which is where I expected to see some tension at. Now I'm going to keep rubbing it because we got a release, but that doesn't mean it's all gone. So I might come over here. Yeah, there's a big release. And I'm working through that muscle, is making my hands kind of almost make a little bit of a U. So I'm moving my base of my palm back and forth. There's a yawn. And I might come up here. Yeah. Coming up towards that crest of the neck. I'm letting my hands work and I'm kind of just watching for any signs, but I'm feeling the horse and taking that information of what I feel and letting that guide me rather than what my brain is telling me. You know, I'll watch for signs of tension, but I don't want to make any guesses of what's going on with them. So I think we cleared most of that up. Now I'm kind of coming where that shoulder is, and I'm digging into it. He's moving, so now I'm going to hold it. I don't care if he pauses, I'm just watching where my feet are because we're not going to let go until we work that tension out. If one hand gets sore, then I'm going to work on the other. But I'm keeping my fingers in that same spot until I feel a release. Normally I want to keep both hands on the horse, but kind of waiting. I might rub it a bit with the palm of my hand. Kind of wiggling his lip, thinking about something. Might go on, make my U shape. And it's kinda, he's thinking about it, but he doesn't know what he wants. Don't push me right into that camera for it. And let go of that spot, because there's something work there, and this might be what I've been looking for, that pinch in the neck. The yawn pretty big there. Let's see that. There we go. Gave me a big yawn. So this might have been where that tension was that I was having a hard time finding. This is about where I was told it would be, but I just couldn't find it. There we go. Alright, we're going to work into here. Oh, there was a big stop, so I think there's something here. A big yawn. What else can we get to? Are we getting it? I might kind of make a V around this area here. Anything we can do to help them. So I might come into this neutral area. And just rub back and forth right here. So I might take, you can see, I'm almost making like a V. And I'm grabbing right here. I'm kind of almost pinching my thumb right next to the esophagus area, and I'm grabbing it. I'm not pinching it super tight, but I'm grabbing it. I might kind of shake it a little bit and see what he gives me. Mark my way back. Come up here and kind of rub kind of in front of those withers. I don't get a lot here, but it's good to check. Might come back. Like I said, take my 4 fingers like this and kind of shake that esophagus a little bit. See if I can find anything. Alright, so now I might come right behind those withers and rub it here. I've already worked a little bit on his withers and I got quite a bit of release, so I don't know if he'll get any more. Thinking about it. I've already worked on those withers before I started pretty heavily. Right here, there's a little bit kind of right behind that shoulder blade. Almost in your V shape, your triangle. I'm going to kind of rub it ever so slightly and wait for him to release. Not getting much. Like I said, I already focused on this area right before starting, so I might have gotten everything out of here. Alright, here. Let's inching towards that back. Alright. That's all I'm going to do for this video, but if you guys want more, let me know. I can show you more on the neck with a different horse that has different spots of tension. I'd love to work on the shoulders, leg stretches, back. I can focus more on the pole with the horse that actually has pole issues, the back half. I'd love to do more videos like this. Just let me know. Thank you so much, guys.